I never saw my beauty as a weapon to be used against me. I never even gave it a second thought most of the time. I just existed. Men gave me extra attention, and I liked to flirt with them. The chase was appealing to me, knowing how easily won they were. I remember how they would watch as the sunlight roared and glistened on my hair. My hair was always first to be subject to their longing glances. It looked like copper in the sun. Right. It's all gone. Nothing but hissing remains. I wonder what they're trying to say to me. I want to make one thing clear. I wasn't seeking his attention. We heard the stories throughout town, and I knew better than to even acknowledge the God's presence in our lives outside of prayer. My mom would braid my hair every night and hum a song in my ear about these immortal beings. Her voice was so soft, as if whispering these warnings would bring punishment. The lesson still remains. Gods ruin the lives of beautiful women. By simply existing as temptation, we were in danger of being destroyed by their lustful gaze and all too greedy hands. These warnings didn't help. They never do. They just foretell the inevitable. I hadn't noticed the way this fisherman would stare at me in the market. I was always distracted by sweet fruits and the way the sea breeze cooled the sweat on my skin. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. But I've spent every day thinking of some way I could have changed what happened. Maybe if I'd worn a darker robe that night, or if I stopped being so coy to the men in town, like changing my behavior would have done anything. He noticed me. It was really that simple. He followed me to Athena's temple that night. I purposefully hid my hair. As I worked at my goddess's altar, I didn't want to attract unwanted attention. I took care to dress myself in a way that wouldn't reveal and give them an excuse to take advantage of me. My mother's songs didn't warn me that it didn't matter what I was wearing. I was a beautiful woman, and he wanted me. Seabreeze whispered off his skin, and it made me sick to my stomach. It was too late for me to connect the dots, to realize that the fisherman in the market was a god. He kept trying to talk to me, and I tried to ignore his advances, his rough beard as it scraped my neck, rough hands burrowing in my robe. I cried, "No, please don't." He only gave me a sailor's smirk. Every cell in my body was on fire, and I sobbed for my goddess to save me, to help me. I begged for Athena. She only appeared after sweat mingled on my skin, and I was bare beneath her altar, unable to speak. She was angry at me. She accused me of tempting Poseidon, luring him here with my silky robe and my soft voice. I had destroyed her maiden altar and could no longer serve her now that I was tarnished goods. Her voice was cold as stone, and it bit into my skin. Now, the men who once idolized me look away in fear. My gaze used to leave them restless. Now, freezes, molds them into hard stone. I can't look anyone in the eye anymore. My gaze is permanently set on the floor in front of me. The world is gray and cruel. You want to know something I learned? The gods are useless, petty things who will drag you through the mud, kicking and screaming to get power. Humans are pawns in their ridiculous games, and we are the ones who get hurt. Even maiden goddesses who claim to be on your side only care when you are pure and virginal. You lose that, and you lose their respect. Even though you didn't want it, even though you were begging for them to save you, they don't care. They will let you suffer to save face. Athena wanted to keep her power, and stopping Poseidon would have gotten her in trouble. But you can't disgrace a goddess's altar without punishment. No, that just won't do. It's like Hera with Io and Zeus. The mortal woman must be punished and scarred to make up for the man's mistake. Nobody cares about you. The sooner you learn that, the better. That's when I decided, if they want me to be a monster, if they're painting me out to be some horribly grotesque thing with talons and snakes for hair, then I will be their monster. I will turn this once hopeful heart into stone and forget about everything I once loved because it is no longer mine. They took everything away from me when they thought being abused on a goddess's altar warranted punishment. True monsters don't have snakes for hair or turn you to stone. They are the ones who will take everything from you, convince you that they care about you until you no longer serve a purpose. Then they will bend you backwards, make you take on every bad thing they've ever done until you snap from the pressure. You snap from being a pawn, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Give in or fight, it doesn't matter. We're all fucked.